All right, today we're going to talk about the number one threat to your voiceover business. Now, if I were to ask you to do a SWOT analysis on your business, you'd likely look at me and go, huh? What? A what? A SWOT? Yes, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths and opportunities are things that will grow your business rather, and weaknesses and threats are things that could potentially harm or even kill your business. And here's the thing, most of us are hardwired to worry about threats because these are the things that threaten our well-being, both psychologically, physically, financially, whatever it might be. We're hardwired to worry about that stuff and to problem solve for it. You ever been up late at night and the mind is racing and you just can't turn the brain off and you're thinking about this threat and that threat and what am I going to do about this and how am I going to problem solve for that? That's called rumination. That's the psychological term for it. And that's pretty much how we're hardwired to work. Now, we hear these fears expressed in voiceover all the time. AI is taking over voiceover, and the pay-to-play algorithms are all stacked against me, and oh, the market's oversaturated. There are too many voice actors in the world. I never hear back on my auditions. How do I ever get better? Well, the problem is we're focusing on the external there, and we waste an inordinate amount of time and useless energy worrying about stuff that is out of our control. Weaknesses are internal, and we can control those, and we can control our reaction to external threats. The number one threat to your voiceover business is not artificial intelligence. It's not the pay-to-play algorithms. It's not the fact that you don't hear back on your auditions and you feel like you're screaming into the abyss. It's not the fact that there are too many voice actors out there. There's more work out there than there ever has been in the history of voiceover and planet Earth. The number one threat to your voiceover business is you. It's your weaknesses. It's your limiting beliefs. It's your lack of ownership for that which you can control. It's your not having a system and a plan and daily habits that advance your goals. These are the things with the biggest potential to either harm or kill entirely your voiceover business. Well, that's cheery, Paul. Thanks for the uplifting message. You're really inspirational, you son of a... Listen, there's good news. There are things that you can control. Weaknesses, by definition, are internal. You have control over those. I'm not a religious person, right? But I've always loved the serenity prayer. It says, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. You can't change the fact that artificial intelligence is here, and it's getting better. What you can do is continue your training to sound more natural and human and authentic. You can't change the pay-to-plays. They're always going to be there. They're not going away. What you can change is stop fishing where all the other fishers are. Start growing your own relationships and start building those over time, and they will lead to more consistent revenue, business, and income. You can't control how many voice actors there are. We saw a huge influx of voice actors into the business during the pandemic. There's more voice actors now than there ever have been. Anybody that can fog a mirror and has a USB mic can now call themselves a voice actor. You need to be better than that. You can focus on being better every day with continued coaching and continued practice. You cannot expect buyers to give you feedback on every audition that doesn't book. That's not the place for feedback. That's not the buyer or the casting director's job. That is your coach's job. Coaching is where you should expect the feedback. If you're continuing with your coaching and you're practicing on a daily basis, you will get better and better from the feedback that your coach gives you and from the practice that you're putting in. And you can't open a voiceover business and complain about people not lining up to give you work. What you can do is market your business. You can target and identify leads to go after, to grow relationships at scale over time. That again lead to more consistent business revenue and income. I talk to students all the time who say things like, I need one-on-one coaching to keep me motivated. You're relying on externals for motivation. You're relying on things that you can't control. And motivation, my friend, is very fickle. It comes, it goes. What you need are daily habits that don't rely on motivation, that allow you to sit down and do the things on a daily basis that are the most impactful to growing your business. I hear this one all the time from voice actors. Well, I'm an actor. I'm not a business person. Well, why can't you be both? Why does it have to be binary? To be an actor, a A voice actor in today's world means being an entrepreneur. It means reaching out to grow relationships. It means not relying on the pay-to-plays, not relying on your agents and representation. You need to be your own best agent because no one has the potential to work harder for you than you do. If you haven't taken ownership over the things that you can control, not the externals, not stuff you can't control, but over what you can do and your behavior, if you don't have ownership of that, that will be the one thing that kills your voiceover business faster and more effectively than any other. There's a car dealer here where I live in Richmond, Virginia, and they've got a great line in their commercial. Guy says, "Don't tell me what you can't do, tell me what you can do." And he's absolutely right. If you worry about the externals and things that you can't control, that's going to sink your business. Focus on what you can do every day, not what you can't do. And if you do that, you'll spend less time worrying about all those other things you think will kill your business faster. If you found this video helpful, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification button so that you're the first to know when we publish a new video every Thursday. Also, I'd love to hear in the comments, what are the external things that you find yourself worrying about, and how can you then flip that and concentrate on the stuff that you know you can control? Leave that in the comments section below. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you soon.